just quicksand underneath it till you get to this real hard stuff. I thought I was going to run out of it. Looks like it goes all the way to the back of the tank here. Here's where I come off of it a while ago when I had the camera on the front of the dozer. I was stuck, but I had a hole of dry dirt on. If I could ever get to that edge, I would fall off on this dry dirt, and I finally got to the edge and got out. I thought I was stuck again. Well, I have pushed mud all day long out of that thing. Like just a little bit, but of course you got to move a little dry dirt when you're moving mud to keep things where it don't get so slick. But I mean, the south half of that tank was all mud, and I can see where they cored down, because I mean it was just, that hard stuff was a foot under the ground, but it was all on this half of the tank, the north side. But that was mud from here all the way to, and that's still mud right the little corner right there. And you about got to edge into it, because if you ever get up there, I did it once over there and got out, but Now it might not be so deep right there by that cut, but if you go back there and start to push, about the top foot of that'll break off, and it's just like quicksand underneath it. And if you can't reach that edge to where you can fall off onto that hard ground, you're going to be stuck. So, and I sure thought I was stuck earlier when I come through that slit there, but I kept going back and forth. There wasn't no way to back up, but it would move just a little bit forward every time I'd back up, hit it again, and it finally got to the edge where it fell off over that edge. And I come out of there, but that's where it broke off. It just, top foot of that broke off, and it's quicksand. Of course, the edge of it is out here. I've edged into it, but see, it's deeper back there in the back. It is right here. Then it starts going down again. There may be a little hard ridge right through here. I hope so. That way I can get behind it and start pushing it. Then I can go right straight to the dam with it instead of having to push it up here and pile it up, then turn. And I could put some there, but I'll have to move it because that's got to be open for the water to spill around. So I don't know. I think that's just what's inside that stuff. First I thought it might be seeping out of that tank above, but it would have more water running than that than if it's coming out of that tank. I've got that good and packed over right there. It's not going to go on through the tank. It's just, I got to get back here and get all this out. And it don't take much of that to get a load either. It's pretty heavy. But I'll come out here tomorrow and work a little bit on it. And got to go look at a job in the morning while I'm up here. So see, this is getting deep right here. Then it's starting to go past the, oh, it'll probably go all the way to that tank. So I won't be able to back up there. I may have to, I don't really need to pack that full of dry dirt because that water ain't gonna seep uphill, but I gotta be able to fix that slope coming down into the tank. So it'd be nice if I could go this way, but if it's that deep, it'll fall off in it. So anyway, I guess if it was easy, everybody'd be doing it. So after this one, I think I deserve one easy one, but we'll see if that happens or not. So I'm glad I got some, that's some good stuff here. And when you rip it up, to pack them slopes with, and kind of dry your dozer up after you've been running in the mud, running that a little bit, and it'll dry everything up. So like I say, once you get it on top and get it out of that, and it'll dry up a little bit, because as much as I'm putting up there, that'd make the dam awful muddy. But I think it's going to dry up once it gets up out of that where the sun can hit it and wind it can hit it. It's not going to dry up sitting down there, hard ground under it and clay on top of it and water running through it. So I got my tracks cleaned out. I thought that felt like that thing was getting awful heavy. Them tracks is plumb full of mud. Then half, this 1/3 of the blade was packed full of mud. I got that dug out. That'll make it a little bit lighter. I even got mud between the blade and the radiator. I guess when I reached up there and pulled that down, it was building up underneath it. But that'll fall off, or I'll poke it through and it'll hit the ground. So okay, we'll probably see some of this tomorrow come out, but it'll probably still have mud in it. But when I get through, but another day and a half probably we'll get that mud out of there. So Again, thank you for watching this channel. If you hadn't, go ahead and subscribe. Until we start back on this again, we'll see you. Keep your blade shiny, your tracks clean. that's about 2.5 days of pushing mud. I like just that little bit over there, getting that out. Probably Monday I ought to be able to get that out. So we'll see what next week brings. I know what I don't push out, I'm carrying the rest out on my blade and on my track, so I don't guess it matters how you get it out, as long as you get it out. So anyway, we're fixing to head in. I guess we'll let y'all see what it looks like next week. Hopefully it looks better than that. If I can keep that slope down back there a little bit, I can't do it much or I'll be stuck, but it's easier to edge into that. What would be ideal if that was hard ground behind, then I could just push it right straight to the dam, but it's not, and that ain't the way I can do it. So however it takes to get it out. So we'll let y'all see some of that next week as we whittle on it some more. Thanks for watching. Remember, keep your blade shining, your tracks clean. before moving dirt. This is the third day, and I finally got all this silt, mud, or crap, or whatever you want to call it, out of this tank. I need to, quite a bit of water starting to run up through there, but I'm gonna try to get this ripped up yet. Out here, some of this dry dirt, and start packing that thing full of dirt. And that's just run out since I've started picking up the ridges. I kind of got all that mud and stuff out of here, but that was sure a mess trying to get that out of there. Edging it out, what was so bad, every now and then you're probably saying I could get up there and come down, but you had to really be careful, because if you got too much, or if you went down before you could get to that edge and break it off, you was going to be there. And I've done been stuck once and almost stuck Friday, but I believe I've got her whooped now. If I can get this packed back in, and you can see how that ground, the more I backed up there, the water's down here, and that's what happens when you run over soft ground with a dozer. Just everything comes up, and that was just going to heck with me up there, and that's why I couldn't get up there a lot and push down. I didn't want to, because that was just going to keep getting worse and worse. But as long as I could edge that out, but it was over half of the entire tank was just right here. It was from this flag right here all the way around to right in through there. So that's 154 foot east and west, and 75 foot or better going to the south was all that stuff right there, just like quicksand. And what got me in trouble the first time, I made a pass, and it was that top foot's just enough to hold you up, but when it broke off, it was just on top of that quicksand looking stuff, and when you hit that, you just go down right where you're at. So only thing was help, I was fortunate I could cut in two here and get it cut half in two, so I didn't have to edge the entire length of this. That would have been a long process, edging a 154 foot long strip of mud out of there. But once you cut through it, you got different angles you can hit it, and then I can spread that mud out over this dam. So we got it now, and you always got to keep, I moved more dry dirt than I wanted to, but you always had to keep leaning to the outside of that mud. If you ever get to leaning into it, it just sucks you into it, then you're stuck. So anyway, it'll start to look like a tank now. So I'm gonna rip all this up right quick and start plating that, filling that slope in. I need to reset some stakes because I pulled them up so I wouldn't lose them in the mud and stuff. That's just a pretty good wall of mud right there, or silt. That tank spills on this side up there, and for some reason, I don't know if it's went to washing out and that's silted in, or what in the world it is. I know it's bad stuff to deal with, I know that, but it's running pretty good right here. This morning it had quite a bit of water in it, but running out pretty good right there. So there's some down there. So the reason I told you the other day, just 100 yards past them cedar trees, he's got a well, and the reason he's still digging the tank has a well is that well's turning salty on him, and it's starting to hurt his cattle, and lost some last year, and so he's probably got to get off of that well, and everything seems that on this side of the big creek, they say it's getting more saltier. So that's why we're digging this tank, get him a pretty good water source here, so he don't have to use that salty water. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll get this thing started shaped up here pretty soon. Bye.